participatory virtual roundtable that encompasses all of our districts. We've got some folks still joining, but just to do a little housekeeping up front. My name's Kevin Aker. I'm the council commissioner, and we will mute everyone just to keep down the background noise. Ask for your cooperation in that. At the end of the sessions tonight, we will have an opportunity for Q&A, and during the evening, if you've got a particular question, go ahead and put it in the chat, and hopefully either myself, John Harding, or one of the other professionals, or one of the facilitators will be able to answer your question. And if not, we'll cover that at the end of the evening. Let's start our meeting as we would any good Scout meeting. Start out with the pledge, and then we'll do the oath and the law. So, John, you've got a flag there. So, Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign, and we will do the oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And the law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. And at this time, I would call on Dave Hampton to provide an invocation, and then Dave's also going to provide us with a safety moment. Dave?
Please prepare yourself for prayer. Oh God, thank you, Lord, for this day, for the sunshine today, for the wonderful weather that we've had the past few days. Father, ask that you be with us as we work through this new normal, that we find ways to help the children that we serve to find their way through these difficult times, that they might also find their way to find ways to be servant leaders themselves. Father, ask you watch those who are stricken with the disease of the pandemic, and Father, ask that you watch over them, that you might bring healing to them. Father, we ask these things in your name. Amen. My name is Dave Hampton. I got called on to do the safety moment this evening. And while I was thinking about those things today and looking online, I got to thinking about with the boys not having met and girls not having met for a certain amount of time, and then getting back together, it's a good opportunity to take time to train them, to remind them of all the things that they should do and things that they should not do. You know, there's a lot of safety moments. I was looking online, and at the very top, and you can't really tell, but this says that there are 381 safety moments that are listed on the Boy Scout website. And to me, that was really astounding to find that many, because you could have Scout meetings every day for a year, do a safety moment, and never do the same one twice. As you get back into doing your meetings, you have to make sure that you do things like follow the Guide to Safe Scouting, along with doing safety moments. But you have to remember that there are things you can and you cannot do, because things like fire water and fire do not mix. You want to take the time to retrain them, because they haven't been around you, most likely, very much at all. So you want to make sure that they remember their knife safety so that they don't end up with things like this. You want to make sure that you go over things like axe safety so they don't end up with things like this. There's hundreds of opportunities in safety moments. Look online. They're there. Use them. That's my safety moment.
Thank you, Dave. Very timely. Um, Next on the agenda, we want to talk about some upcoming events. And first up is an item called Family Fun Fest. And Abby Roberts is going to address that for us. Abby?
Good evening. So in 1 day, 15 hours, and 22 minutes, and 46 seconds, there will be the Family Fun Fest hosted by the National Office. And this is a virtual event that everyone is invited to. It's Cub Scout centered, but there will be activities for Scouts of all ages. And it's family oriented, and it doesn't have to be a scouting family that participates. So we encourage you to invite your kids' friends and their families to participate as well, so they can have a taste of scouting and decide if it's something they would want to participate in as well. You can find all the information about scouting or about Family Fun Fest at scouting.org/familyfunfest. But there'll be things like information about taking care of pets. They're going to do rockets. They're going to interview an astronaut and a NASCAR driver. They're going to have interactive games and activities and a lot of outdoor adventure centered things. So we highly encourage you to take a look at it. It's Saturday morning. It starts at 10 a.m. Central, and you can sign up and see the whole schedule at scouting.org/familyfunfest.
Thanks, Abby. I've been seeing quite a bit on social media about that. So sounds like a great time, and hopefully you can get that information out to your units, and we have great participation from our council. Next up, it's time for popcorn again, and Chris Felton is going to bring us some information about Popcorn University. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So there in the chat, I put the link for Popcorn University. Popcorn University this year will run very similar to last year's, except it will be virtual. So we will still have a setup for basically you guys will attend different classes throughout the day. Those of you who attended the camporee, it'll be sort of similar in a setup as that. You guys will sort of get the sheet of paper to tell you what Zoom meeting invite there will be, and then you'll go to that invite for that class you want to join. I will share my screen right here real quick. This is our class roster for this year. This is on whenever you go to the link that's in the chat to sign up for the event. This description of all the different classes and everything are in there. And it shows here sort of the different times that the classes make or are at. We have two classes running congruently at the same time. So there's two classes at 8:30, 2 at 9:30, 10:30. There's a little bit of time in between each class. So you guys have plenty of time to, jump out and, use the restroom or get some food or whatever you guys need to do. So it'll be very similar in all the description of what you would need. The big change this year, we're going to do sort of the popcorn kickoff towards the end at 2:30. And then we're going to have a general Q&A of any questions you guys may have about this upcoming sale, because I know there's a lot of, changes obviously this year. So if you have any questions, that would be the time you can ask questions to the staff and the popcorn chairs and that kind of stuff to provide, information back to you guys with what you need. So that is all I have.
Thank you, Chris. And again, we'll have an opportunity to ask questions at the end of all the sessions. And so hold those, or you can send those in the chat window. Another event coming up is for our Cub Scouts, is Cub Scout Fall Fun Day. And Sam Taylor is going to bring us up to date on that. Samantha, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This year, Cub Scout Fall Fun Day is in a box. It's going to be an adventure not only for your Cub Scouts, but for your families as well. This event is on September 19th, and we are going to be hosting videos and instructions through 8 o'clock that morning to 12:30, ending in our campfire. The Cub Scout Fall Fun Day box will provide activities to the scout and their families to partake in at the same time, increasing their advancements. The advancements will range from lion all the way to the arrow of light, hitting on key points. And those points will be nutrition, making snacks, extracting DNA from fruit, exploring the world at a microscopic level, growing some bread mold, and making paper rockets. We will provide the help with the rockets through the videos that will be on the information sheets, along with the worksheets in the boxes for each Cub Scout to do step by step through that day. The price of the boxes will be we'll have for you guys next week, along with all the information on what advancements will be taking place in those boxes. That's about all I got.
Hey, Sam, thanks. That sounds exciting. And if you need any supplies for the experiments, my wife is helping clean out my in-laws' refrigerator since they moved, and I think there's some experiments already started there.
Awesome.
Next up, we're going to have a training update from Dave Hampton, who is the council training chair. Dave, back to you.
Okay, one of the most exciting things for me as an adult leader that I've grown to love is the training and what it can do for you. There's lots of different opportunities. There is a huge library. You go to myscouting.org, you sign in, you can do lots of different kinds of trainings. There are some things that there's two ways to take youth protection. You can arrange to have it taught in your unit, live and in person. There are only a few people that we have do that, but you can also go online and do it in the comfort of your own home. You have to pass the test in order to be certified. You can't be a registered leader without having youth protection. That's something we all have to do, and it's more important than ever these days. Coming up on the weekend of October 16th, 17th, and 18th is our next batch of leader training skills. One of those is what's called BALOO, which is Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation for Cub Scout leaders. If you're going to take Cub Scouts on camping, somebody has to be BALOO trained. Now, this is a fun weekend. It's not anything hard. It is an introduction to camping skills to take young kids camping. It's a lot of fun. The participants always have are run ragged from first thing in the morning. There's a lot of information to present to all of them, and it's just a lot of fun. It's also a way to rub elbows with a lot of other leaders, make friendships of people that are going to help you, not just now, but down the line, learn anything that you need to learn. Also, that weekend is for Boy Scout leaders, for Scouts BSA leaders, the Intro to Outdoor Leader Skills. This particular class is for the Scouts BSA troop mentality. It's also run in a patrol setting, just like a troop. You learn a lot of different skills. You learn things about cooking. You learn things about knife safety. You learn all the different basic skills that a scout needs. Like I say, it's an introduction, and you're learning who to turn to also to get more help. Also that weekend is a Leave No Trace course that I just confirmed today. Cami Holm, our outdoor advocate, is going to run a Leave No Trace course. If you want to learn about how to lessen your impacts within your troop, this course is open to youth and adults. Bring them both. They always have a lot of fun, and they learn a lot of different things. And the more the better, especially at these kinds of things. There's information on the website about all of these. Something like Intro to Outdoor Leader Skills is something that is required for direct contact leaders before you can go to Wood Badge. We only offer these courses twice a year. So don't miss your opportunity to do two things: have fun and learn something new. Right after that, coming up on November 21st, is the University of Scouting, which Dean Adam White has been working hard to get that. Adam, if you would like to talk about that for a few moments.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So the University of Scouting is a really cool event. So we don't only focus on scouting specific training, but also training that maybe we have a leader that's very passionate in a certain area or a certain topic, and they would like to come up with a course to kind of give you guys a little bit more information about that. We were originally planning an in-person training, so that's going to have to change to a virtual training. So there's some works still to be done to be able to make that possible. But save that date on your calendar, share it to the rest of your leaders, let them know November the 21st is going to be the University of Scouting. We'll get a lot of really cool events in there. John, I don't have access to share my screen, but that's okay. So we'll get those flyers, get out to you guys as quickly as possible so you guys can start looking at that information and getting those in the works.
Thank you, Adam. Adam has worked really hard getting a list of courses, and we've kind of had to change gears with the effects of the pandemic. It's going to be a new learning experience for all of us. Personally, I'm looking at trying to sign up for other people's University of Scouting to see how they're doing it in order to try to help us put on a wonderful event for everybody. In the past couple of days, I've had a lot of discussion. This year has been difficult because of the pandemic with some of the trainings that we've offered. We had to reschedule our NYLT course for the youth directly because of the pandemic, and then we ended up having to cancel it. But in the past few days, we've made some decisions with regards to that, and I can't tell you a date yet, but I can tell you next June, late June, we're going to run a 2-weekend NYLT course. Again, for the youth. Now, NYLT stands for National Youth Leadership Training. If you want to help the kids in your unit lead your unit, become a youth-led unit, and take that unit to the next level, NYLT is what those kids need in order to give them the skills to do those kinds of things. If you want those kids to make an investment in themselves, that's what NYLT will do for them. They're going to learn about leadership skills. They're going to learn about communication skills. They're going to learn about doing presentations. They're going to be challenged to do those kinds of things and work within a scout unit. This is going to help them push themselves and grow themselves and take a unit to the next level. That's for the youth. For the adults is Wood Badge. Wood Badge, I'm very passionate about Wood Badge. It's also an investment in yourself. Wood Badge changed my life. I've seen it change other people. In Wood Badge for adults, we talk about communication skills, leadership development, conflict resolution, a lot of the same things that are done in NYLT, but this is also done in a troop setting. You're paired with 6 people that you don't know, and you're challenged to form a high-performance team. This is put on by scouters for other scouters to help them become better and challenge them to become the best version of themselves that they can, so that they can deliver the best program to all the youth that we all serve. The new dates for the Wood Badge course, which we also postponed, is July 16th, 17th, and 18th, and July 31st and August 1st of 2021. That information will be updated on the website soon. If you have any questions about any of the trainings, please contact me or contact any of the training chairperson. They're all listed online on the council website, and we're more than happy to help you get trained that's part of our job. And we're all passionate about it. It's a great team. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Good update. And as we all know, every one of our youth deserves a trained leader, because a trained leader is going to deliver a better program, and a better program is what's going to keep our scouts involved and keep them in the units. So thanks for all the work that you're doing, Dave. Next up, a very important item is recruitment. And obviously, because of the world we're living in today, recruitment this year is going to look a little bit different. And it's August, so it's time to start talking about that. Schools are starting up very shortly. Some already have. And we have a new membership chair at the council level, someone who's familiar to a lot of you. And John Keck has played a role in Native Trails District for a number of years as committee chair. He's stepped down from that role a few months back, took a little hiatus, and not probably long enough, John, I'm guessing. And he jumped right in, and when we lost our current membership chair, who retired and moved away, and John stepped up and took the reins. So he's started out with quite a challenge, but I know how John is, and he's going to take that challenge and run with it. So John, I'm going to turn it over to you to cover the membership aspect.
Thank you, Kevin, for those kind words. I'm pretty sure they're unfounded, but thanks anyhow, right? So good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this conversation. One of the most important parts of tonight's roundtable, in my mind, is this whole concept of how do we successfully run a membership program in the current environment that we're in. And I'm just so you guys know, I heard something today that was very interesting to me, and I think it was a very valid point. Becca and I were talking earlier today, and she said, you know what, life has just kind of lost a little bit of its sparkle. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's a really good way to put it. But here's the thing, even though some of that sparkle has been taken away from us and during these times, we still have to bite off and do what we can do, right? And we still have to have a positive attitude. That doesn't mean that we're going to run the membership program like we have in the past, and we're going to be able to get all of the things done that we used to do. But what that means is we all need to join together and make this a grassroots effort to be able to get as many people, as many young kids signed up into this program as possible. We all know someone that could benefit from scouting. We all know some family that would love to be a part of this organization if only they were asked. Our methodology of asking folks is going to be different this year. So my ask of everybody on this call is to think about your kids' friends, think about your acquaintances, think about your family members, and let's see how many folks we can get signed up into scouting this fall. So along those lines, I was going to give an introduction, but I think Kevin did just a fine job. Yes, my name's John Keck, for those of you who do not know me, and I have taken over, I've assumed the role of membership chair at the council level, and I feel very passionately about this, okay? Membership is crucial, and especially right now, right? We really need to do everything we can to increase our roles within our organization, because this program, I am truly 100% committed and believe that the boys and the girls that will go through our program will be much better in life for it, okay? So it's really important that we do everything we can in these untold times to be able to get kids back into the program and into the program, right? So the rest of our meeting tonight is going to focus on membership. And just to give you guys a quick overview, I'm going to turn this over in just a second to Jennifer. Jennifer is going to talk a little bit about the Be a Scout pin and how important that tool is updated. It's vital, guys. We've got to make sure that our Be a Scout pin for our units is updated, and she's going to explain exactly how to do that. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more after she talks about a couple of things in regards to virtual recruiting, what we've got planned there, and then we're going to turn it over to Chris, and we're going to turn it over to Abby to finish up before Kevin closes the meeting. So Chris and Abby are going to be able to let us know exactly where to find all of the resources for successful recruiting. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is this year that we all recruit, and we do so with enthusiasm and passion. So that's the way it's going to get done. It's got to be done at this grassroots effort this year. So Jennifer, I'd like for you to tell the group a little bit about the Be a Scout pin, what that means, and why should we make sure that it's not only up to date, but that it's a very robust looking set of data?
Well, I would love for the host to give me participant screen sharing opportunity so I can actually pull up the pin. I somehow lost that. But I would say right now, the most important thing that we can do is to prepare ourselves for a virtual recruitment, which means, number one, the first thing that we can do is to set up our Scout pin. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was
yes,
worried that I'm struggling with my internet here, so let's try again.
You've got a nice building in the background. It looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks. I thought that was better than my old bedroom that I'm using for an office. So when you log into my.scouting.org on the website, you can actually get logged in and then go to your menu bar and scroll down to your unit. As a committee chair or a Cub Master or a charter organization rep, you should have access to your unit information on here. And when you log into that, you're going to select Organization Manager. And when you get to your Organization Manager, you're going to see who is currently listed as your Key 3, that should be who's registered with the council in those positions. You can check here to make sure that you're accepting whether if you're a girl-only program, a boy-only program, or you will take both. You can check that there. And then at the bottom, you can create actually what will be a return email to anyone who messages you to your unit messaging to ask about things. So this can be a welcome email that you can send to families if you want them to join. On the left, you'll see your unit pin option, and this is where you're going to really update all of your pin details. So you can see here, my pack will appear on Be a Scout. I have that selected. Allow people to apply online. We are taking online applications. And when they apply online, they have to now pay, I believe, with a credit card online. It's no longer allowed to pay at the office, if I saw that correctly, through some national communications. The contact person, we have our Cub Master listed for who is to be contacted. If someone has questions, he's typically the best person to get back to them right away. We have listed our Facebook page that we would want units to visit here. And all of this information will then populate on our Be a Scout pin. We made it pretty clear and put in some messaging on the online registration to kind of be very specific in the information you're sharing. Remember that the people that are visiting the site may not know anything about Cub Scouts. So by saying pack or troop or things like that, they're not going to necessarily know what you're talking about. They should know what age level they're at by the time they get to this part. But we're very specific. We say that our pack, and a pack is members in all grades, meets on the second Monday at 6 p.m. This information is important because if they're not available at those times, they might look for another pack or troop that would be appropriate for them and work for their meeting time. So you would update all your information here. They can either request more information or apply now to your unit when they're on your page. And then you just need to make sure that all of the information that you're sharing is set to display. And then Abby will probably tell you if you're in the Native Trails District or the Algonquin District, it might be Chris, but they might check and tell you that your information is not correct. I know Abby called us and told us our website wasn't working, so you can check here to make sure that your pin is in the correct place for where your unit meets on the map. And then once you're finished, you would just save that. And I think I'm hiding my save option. Save it down here at the bottom, and then you're set to go for your pin. And you can go back out and check that pin in your beascout.org. Just go to beascout.org, type in your zip code, find yourself, and make sure everything is working. So that's the first thing that you can do to set yourself up for a successful recruitment. John?
Thank you, Jennifer. Very good. Anybody have any questions on the pin, please put them in the chat. I know when I first took this job over, I didn't know what the pin was, but now I'm well versed in it. Thank you, Jennifer. So guys, we're going to talk just real quickly about some other things that you can do, what we can do, and what we should be doing right now. And then I'm going to turn it over to Chris so that he can start telling you where these resources are for being able to help with fall recruitment. So basically what we should be doing right now is, as Jennifer said, let's make sure that the PIN for our unit is updated. Let's make sure that if you do have a website, there's a link for it. Let's make sure that the location is correct. Let's make sure that it's inviting, that when somebody queries about being a scout and their child in an organization, that your pack shines, okay? Let's make sure that we do that. The other thing that we can start doing here is prepare the people that are in your unit, the families, the adult leaders. Let's start preparing them to help us with this recruiting effort that we're going to have their help with this year, right? We really are, like I said earlier, this has got to be a grassroots effort. It has got to come from each one of us. And by each one of us, I'm referring to every single family that is currently in your unit. So please share this information with them. Please be passionate about it, because honestly, we're going to need everybody to pitch in for us to have a successful recruiting season, just because of the way things are right now and the uncertainty when it comes to school and getting the message out and the things that we've traditionally done. So we're going to have to do it differently this year, right? So one of the things that I really like in these resources is the peer-to-peer cards. If your child really likes fishing, go online, and we're going to share with you where. Go online, get the peer-to-peer cards on fishing and print them out, give them to your kid, and have them give them to anybody that they would love to see come join your unit, okay? I think that's a really neat thing. Please promote on social media. Anytime you see something from us, like it, share it, tweet it, whatever the social media platform that you're comfortable with. Please make sure that that's a part of it. The last thing that I really want to talk about is we're planning on a virtual recruiting fair. It's kind of like a virtual job fair, right? And we're looking at August 31st through September 3rd. So that's a Monday night, a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, and a Thursday night. And what does that virtual recruiting night look like? Well, our plans are to have a professional, an adult scout leader, and a scout. It'll be a live Facebook event. We will be promoting it. And each night, we're hoping to have various different folks that take over and do each night. And the whole concept here is to have like I said, the professional, the adult leader, and the scout live to talk to prospective kids as to what scouting is all about. And not only the kids, but also their parents. Oh, and by the way, let's answer their questions as well. So that is something that's coming up. Again, August 31 through Thursday, September 3. Each night we're going to have a session. So details to come. You're going to see it on social media. You're going to see it on Facebook. You're going to see it on Twitter. Please share, pass it on, make sure everybody knows, okay? So the last thing that we're going to do tonight, we're going to have Chris and we're going to have Abby talk about resources. In other words, where are we going to find the materials to help us to recruit for the fall? Now, I got to tell you this, guys. I've been in scouting a long time, and I've never seen such fantastic marketing materials that have actually come out of the National Boy Scout office. We have a lot of good stuff to share. We have a wonderful story to share. And we also have some great materials that we can share individually with people and through our social media. So without ado, I'd like to start with Chris and let him talk about some of the resources you can find at the council level. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, John. Like you said, I am going to share what we have going on here at the council for not just recruitment, but or not just Cub Scout recruitment, but Scouts BSA recruitment and help there. Whoops. All right. So starting out, I'm sure most everybody knows that we have a council website. If you guys don't know, it is buffalotracecouncil.org. Here you guys will find a lot of the information, and this is just the homepage of what's going on. Abby does a great job of keeping the Scouting at Home page. So this is, other councils across the country are running merit badges, all those type of things to keep Scouts BSA interested. There's a lot of challenges for Cub Scouts going on. There's challenges actually for all grades, adventures for younger Scouts. A lot of really great stuff on this page here. Another thing you guys need to pay attention to is down here. This is your pre-event medical checklists and all these type of things for if you guys are going to start doing in-person meetings and those type of activities. It's a great idea to start having those people, fill out pre-event medical checklists so you know ahead of time that they are not, like they haven't been exposed to COVID in any ways, or if they have been, when it was, and all that type of stuff. So these are very important documents just for your meetings and other events upcoming just in general. But on our page here under resources, there's a membership page. So here is on the left side, and these will be updated here in a couple of weeks as we find and create the documents ourselves. But this is a lot of the stuff here from previous years, but it's a lot of really great information. So these are the membership PowerPoints and presentations that were actually given last year. However, they give you guys a lot of great information about what a solid parent meeting following the initial recruitment night may be. So whether or not you guys do maybe your own unit recruitment, or if you guys just go along with the council virtual recruitment week, there's a lot of great information in these slides that can give you what that follow-up meeting, whether you're doing it in person or virtual, can be. Now obviously virtual, you'll have to change it up a little bit, make it a little bit more your own. However, the information and stuff that you need to give out to the parents is very similar, even whether it's in person or virtual. So these are great places. A new parent handout is here. Let me get rid of my stuff up here. Oh, that's not the one. All right, so the new parent information, this is the stuff that you guys want to have, and you can take this form and put it into your own virtual meeting and that kind of stuff when you're doing these things. And the parent can fill out and send it back to you, and this is the saying I'm available to help in den meetings and all that type of stuff, and also the 100-point adult participation thing. So yes, this is obviously more geared towards Cub Scouts, but it is helpful on all levels to what is going on. Following that, many of our council, you guys probably don't know that we have a council YouTube page. So this is our Buffalo Trace YouTube videos that we've created so far. It has our membership webinar from last week on there. It has earlier this year's ideal year of scouting. And I mean, this is just, you know, you go to YouTube, you type in Buffalo Trace Council, it'll come up. There's a couple of videos on, you know, this is the NYLT video that some of the youth put together. And then these are all actually the roundtables from these past couple of years that Native Trails has been doing virtually. There's a lot of really great information in there also. And here is the membership training from previous year. So there's some good videos on here. Obviously the membership webinar, if you are a PAC and you missed the membership webinar last week, make sure to get onto here and go for this and watch this video. There's a lot of really great information. We talked about the Google Pin stuff that Jennifer Whitaker went over. However, we also went into Invitation Manager and what it looks like if a unit, you know, they apply online, or if they put in a, you know, asking for more information, what the process for you guys is to respond to those invitations and all that kind of stuff. And then last but not least is our Facebook page. We have a very active Facebook page. I mean, here's the post for today, and you know, the several different things going on. I can't tell you the number of times that I've had unit leaders ask me, hey, like, what's going on? I didn't get the invitation to this event, or I didn't know about this thing was happening and all this. And I, probably 100% of the time, I'm just like, well, are you, you know, friends with us on Facebook? Because we post almost every single event that we're running in several different avenues here on Facebook, whether it's a training event, membership, all those type of things. So whether it was the membership meeting last week, this meeting, all that information is up on the Facebook page as soon as we have it all created and put out, which is several weeks ahead of events most of the time. And so this includes even the, you know, fall field day, the boxes that we're going to be doing for the new fall field day, all those type of stuff. You know, those invites and things will be up on our Facebook page. If you guys can, you know, befriend the Facebook page, and, you know, set it so that it's giving you notifications when we update, because we don't update, you know, every single day. It's not like it's going to be something where you're getting an update every 5 minutes. It's whenever we do put stuff up on there, it is normally something that you guys would like to pay attention to and that kind of stuff. So, and the last thing I have, which I'm not sure what happened, but my screen is all messed up. So, but the last thing I have is that on the 20th of August, we are going to do a final membership training meeting. That is sort of the last, before we start doing the council virtual recruitment, it's going to be sort of the last day of saying like, hey, here's what we're going to have offered as far as the council goes. Here's what we really want to help you guys push and put together and all those type of things. So if you guys, it'll be August 20th at 6 p.m. and it'll be a virtual, you know, meeting similar to the last one. So it'll be through Zoom and all that fun stuff. So that is all I have, and I will hand it over to Abby.
Okay, I'm going to keep this brief because we did talk about national resources in that membership meeting that Chris showed you how to get to through both our website and our YouTube channel, and it's also posted on our Facebook page. But the main thing I want to share with you is scoutingwire.org. And this isn't just for Cub Scouts, it's for all scouting units. There are some great assets and information on scoutingwire.org. So if you haven't gone on and played around on it, I would highly recommend you do that. So the first page you get is just scouting news, any changes to advancements, activities that are coming up on a national level, feel good scouting stories. It's a great place to visit every few days if you need to pick me up. So I would definitely encourage you to read those articles. Then we have the marketing and membership tab here. And through this, you can go to the marketing and membership hub. And this is where you can find all the recruitment webinars that National has done, plus PAC and DIN recruiting specifics over here. There's a guidebook and other best practices and other information for you. And then up here, we also have the BSA Brand Center, and this is full of awesome digital assets for you to use. Like I said in the membership meeting, we encourage you to use either your local scouting pictures or pictures and videos from Scouting Wire, because you have the rights to use those pictures. They're open to all scouting use, whereas if you go Google a picture, you don't know what the rights on that photo are. So you can go to the fall 2020 recruitment assets and get flyers and peer-to-peer cards and videos to share on your social media pages. Or you can scroll down and find program-specific assets. So photos, videos, flyers for Scouts VSA, Cub Scouts, exploring, venturing. So there's a lot of really cool assets here at scoutingwire.org. I want to show you one asset that you could share on your Facebook page. And this is a video that answers questions about Cub Scouts. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. It's 3 or 4 minutes long, but I thought we could just watch the first minute of it together so you get an idea of what's out there for you and what you can share on your Facebook
Hello,
page.
everyone. I'm Orlando, and welcome to everything you want to know about Cub Scouts. Okay, maybe that title needs some work, but if you are watching this video, chances are you have some questions about Cub Scouts. Today, we're going to talk all about Cub Scouts and answer some common questions parents like you have. Let's get started. Question 1. What is Cub Scouts? I'm glad you asked. Cub Scouts is filled with fun adventures and making friends. That is what your child sees in Cub Scouting. For you as a parent, Cub Scouting aims to build citizenship, character, personal fitness, and prepares them to be future leaders in our communities. The magic of Cub Scouting is that it is a game with a purpose. Cub Scouts and their families participate in fun activities that are designed to achieve these aims. What may seem like a simple activity may in fact be a method used for teaching your child about science or the environment. All of these things make Cub Scouting fun for the family while making awesome memories that will last a lifetime. Question 2.
So it's a quick video, great energy. There are different versions of the videos. So you can have Orlando talking, who was just talking there. You can have a woman talking, 2 men, 2 women. It just depends on what demographic you want to hit and represent. So that can all be found on scoutingwire.org. If you have questions about where to find marketing materials for your unit to share in your specific communities, just call the office. We'll be happy to help you out.
John, anything to wrap up?
I'm going to jump ahead of Mr. Keck before he closes out the membership section, because there's a couple points I want to reemphasize for the volunteers on the call tonight. There's a couple critical points that we really need your cooperation with, and that is the communication with our staff members regarding connections with our school principals and the school systems. We've pretty much traditionally taken the lead contact with the majority of the schools. We know that we've got a little bit of staff transition and support help with Native Trails and also with Lincoln Heritage. And other people have been stepping up in different ways to do that over the last couple weeks and months. We appreciate that, and that's going to continue in the coming weeks ahead. But we'd like to have the volunteers connect with us prior to making direct connections with principals. For instance, if we have 2 or 3 Cub Scout packs in one elementary school, are all contacting the principal, they will pull their hair out right now. They don't need to have 3 different Cub Masters connecting with them. We need our staff members to make that connection first and then relay the information to those 3 schools. That's not the case everywhere in every school system, and that's why we're asking you to make the connections with our staff before any connections are made with schools. In regards to making sure if we go and we talk to the principal, there's a series of questions that our staff members have been prepping for a couple weeks. So we ask multiple questions, not just 1 or 2, in order to get the job done. So we want to be swift, concise, and to the point. The other key point we wanted to reemphasize tonight is if your Cub Scout pack is doing the proper planning for the recruitment efforts, we need to make sure the program is being delivered as soon as they're recruited as well. So we have a couple different options that may be out there for you to help. Fred Hassman has offered to provide support to Cub Scout packs if you need help in conducting virtual meetings. Fred, if you want to wave your hand, everybody knows who you are, I think, but Fred Haspin has offered to do that. Get connected with any of our staff members on our team, connect with Fred himself. Put your information in the chat box if you'd like to learn more about virtual Cub Scout meetings, and we can walk you through that process to try and get that job done too. But if we recruit 10 new members in the Cub Scout pack in the tail end of August or early September, and if we lose them by the 1st of December, that's not good. We'll never get the customer come back and visit us again. The families will be upset. So we've got to make sure we're going to deliver good programs as soon as we get them recruited. So hopefully your pack is getting ready to go. So we want to offer support to you. We also want to make sure we're communicating that to you as well. We have been trying to send mass emails over the last several weeks and sharing communication pieces such as the invitations to attend this meeting. We've gone to a virtual or electronic newsletter as well. In some cases, our connecting with you sometimes by phone isn't really the best way to connect with you. You prefer email or text messaging, but we would definitely like to make sure that we're getting the feedback from you. So, Mr. Hassman, we have a couple people that are already raising their hands, so you're going to be on that task to hold that meeting. So we'll look at in the next couple weeks to try and get that posted and shared.
Yep, I'll do that. I'll start looking into it. I started in some stuff a couple of days ago. Because this is one of the issues I think we're having right now with some of our units is not really knowing how to address their scouts and how to have meetings. So we'll work together. I don't have all the answers. I don't think anyone does. But if we work together and we figure out certain things, there's some things that we can do to make it possible.
Well,
so,
and actually, let me interrupt you just a second, Fred, because probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be hearing a little bit more from the national organization about this news. Our staff members, we're going to be at a staff conference on Thursday and Friday of next week. Every single staff member in every council across the country is joining together with virtual trainings this next week. And one of the hottest topics is that a lot of our councils have been participating over the last 30 to 60 days with a virtual development of the Cub Scout Adventures. So therefore, we do expect in the next month or so to start seeing the unveiling of video pieces created in local councils with local youth members all across the country to provide the Cub Scout Adventures in a virtual setting. And this is being done by different councils across the country. So news on that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Pay attention to Scouting Wire. You'll get the national news in that format as well and other social media outlets. So, Mr. Keck, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harding. Guys, just to wrap it up, I just wanted to reiterate just a couple of quick things. First of all, put August 20th on your calendar, please. I know we're all busy, but at 6 p.m., we're going to come back to this Zoom meeting and we're going to talk about some of the details that we will have that we don't have tonight. And we'll also have some really smart training. The second thing I wanted to reiterate is the fact that two things. Number one, the marketing materials that we have available to us this year are amazing. Never seen anything like them before. We need to make sure that we all take the time to look at them and disseminate that information and share them with others. And the last thing I want to share with you guys before Kevin winds up the meeting is this is really, really important, folks. We all have to chip in this year and make sure that we're doing our part to bring more kids into the program. We're facing challenges that we have not faced. That's the whole deal. The sparkle is gone, right? So we all need to be a part of bringing that sparkle back, and we all need to be able to do what we can do, and have a positive attitude as we do so. So first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody listening. And I believe that we have a big job ahead of us, and it's like eating an elephant. Let's take one bite at a time. and let's have a positive attitude, and let's make sure that we get the job done at a grassroots level. So, Kevin, would you like to take us out, please?
Sure. Thanks, John, and thanks for leading the charge, and thanks to Abby and Jennifer and Chris for jumping in on that also. Yeah, we're coming up on an hour, and we want to be respectful of your time. It was suggested that I close the meeting out with a, quote, Scoutmaster's minute. So I'm a council commissioner, so I'm not a Scoutmaster, but I'll do my best. That's what Scouts do. So here we are, it's August. We're 5 months into this thing called a pandemic. And I hope you and your family are doing well and are staying safe and healthy. But let's face it, everybody's feeling some stress. And that stress is coming from a variety of avenues. And it affects everybody differently. Along with COVID-19, you know, we still got lives to live, and we've still got scouting to take care of. And so, you know, again, it affects everybody different. Some of you may have lost your job, be furloughed from your job. Others who are still working may be facing additional stresses from their job because of additional responsibilities have been thrown on them. Family life's changed. I mean, you know, school kids have been home since the beginning of the year, and that's not normal. You may be caring for elderly family members, parents or grandparents that need your assistance because you don't want them getting out and possibly being exposed. Just going to the grocery store or Walmart or Target, it's a whole new experience now, and that introduces challenges. Well, as Scouters, I would like to think that we're better prepared than most people to deal with this kind of stuff. But that being said, it still weighs on all of us no matter what, and no matter what our training is. So my suggestion to you is, if you kind of feel like you're at your wit's end, lean on your scouting family, because maybe they can provide some help to you. They may not have the answers, but at least maybe they're an ear that can listen to you for a little while. We don't have all the answers. Fortunately, BSA has recognized that there may be some issues with your own family, and they have provided a resource webpage, and I'm going to share that URL in the chat window, and then I'm going to open this thing up. And I told John that I didn't think I was going to run this video, but I think I will. So you should have in the chat window the information now, and let's see if I can get to this. I've got too many windows open. So hopefully you're seeing my screen now, and on this screen there are a variety of videos that have been provided by National. And the first video that I'm going to go ahead and play, if we pull this off, is from April McMillan, who is the National Director of Program. And it's a quick, I think about a minute video, and I'm going to run it now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. As many of you know, safety is the top priority for the Boy Scouts of America, and teaching our young people to recognize, respond, and report is the first step in learning to be safe in all kinds of different environments. Different environments, that's certainly where we are right now. And we've heard so many of you question, is what I'm feeling now, is that normal? Should I be concerned? We've heard you, and we've gathered together a panel of experts in mental health, pediatrics, and child maltreatment in order to help answer some questions that you have. This is for all parents and all adults, not just our scouting family. We want to make sure that all of our family is safe, happy, and healthy. So please take a listen, and if you find yourself identifying maybe a little too closely with some things, please reach out and contact a professional for a diagnosis. I wish you all well and hope you're safe with your family. Thank you.
Okay, so there are other videos on the same site, and like I said, I shared that in the chat window. Hopefully that's something you can utilize and maybe share with your unit leadership, and might help them too. And in closing, let me just say that you know, every day we're faced with some challenges, but you know, Baden Powell provided us with some guidance years ago called the Scout Oath and Law, and that set of rules of scouting traverse a couple of world wars, the Great Depression, and I think we're going to come out of this pandemic thing with no problems. It's just going to take a little while, and we got to get used to it. So with that, I'm going to close everything out. We will hang around for a few minutes here. We'll have the virtual parking lot meeting. And if you've got questions that you didn't get a chance to throw up in the chat window, then we'll take you off mute, and we can, maybe the panelists will stick around for a little while, and maybe we can answer those questions. Otherwise, thank you for all you do for scouting. Thank you for participating tonight. And may the great master of all scouts be with us till we meet again. Thanks. Have a good evening, everybody.
Okay, if you do have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself. Kevin, if you can take off the screen share that you have.